are currently here on board the Bavaria 37 cruiser, equipped with a furling mainsail, and we would like to demonstrate for you how the proper setting of such a furling mainsail works, or rather its correct unfurling. So we'll begin by looking at the winch, which is located right here at the front. It's now set to ratchet, so it turns in one direction and blocks in the opposite. We can't unroll it like this, of course. To unroll, we lift it up once. Now the sail can be rolled in and out without any problems. A very important piece of advice from our perspective: the moment the sail has been completely unrolled, I would strongly recommend that one person proceeds to the front to then place the entire mechanism back onto the ratchet setting. This ensures, first, that the sail will be unrolled correctly later on, and second, if we need to reef the sail while we're out sailing, we can reef just that section of the sail, placing the entire load onto the mechanism itself, not on the furling line, which frankly isn't really designed for that purpose. So, for the unfurling process, we'll need to put it on free just this one time, and then, as soon as we have fully deployed the sail, we'll switch it back to the ratchet setting. With almost all furling masts, the sail rolls up in a counterclockwise direction. This means that when we unroll the sail, it is highly recommended, or we will find it significantly easier if the wind, specifically when we are sailing close-hauled, is coming from the starboard side. We have now got the mainsail fully unfurled. With furling mainsails, which generally need to be cut quite flat, because they have to fit inside the mast, it's really important to sail the sail with a full shape down here at the foot, so that we maintain a good distance from the boom in the middle. So the sail should really be sailed with a nice full shape down here, so we can achieve a beautiful profile across the entire sail. With more wind, you can, of course, pull the outhaul line, that is, the sail's foot, much more tightly. For the unfurling of the foresail, it is very important that we have prepared everything in advance, that we have cleared all the lines. This means, first, you take the furling line and the winch. And get things ready, so that it will unroll cleanly afterwards. We can just open the clamp here. The weather sheet is made ready. Then we'll head to leeward. Now, Jakob, let's drop back just a little bit, so we'll have an easier time when we roll out. As you can see, we've got good pressure. For furling, it's very important that we furl the sail neatly and without wrinkles. If we were to furl the sail now while sailing upwind, meaning we'd release the sheet, the sail would flutter and luff, the sail won't furl properly. We'd get wrinkles in the sail, and we don't want that. That means we are now falling off, even on a beam reach, or even deeper on a broad reach. Ideally, the head sail disappears behind the main in its wind shadow, and we'll do that together now. Are you ready to deploy?
Yes, that's perfectly clear.
So, we're going to let out the mainsail, then we'll turn the boat downwind, and finally, we'll head directly downwind.
Okay.
All right, the pressure has now come out of the head sail. We have very little pressure remaining in the head sail when we're furling it. At the very beginning, we apply almost no sheet tension against it. Only towards the very end of the process, that is, when the sail has been furled to about 3/4, we then start to give a little bit of counter pull with the sheet, so that the sail can compress itself and roll up much more tightly. Finally, we close the cleat. And are we ready to roll? We would now like to furl our full mainsail. We are finished with sailing. When furling, it's important again that the wind also comes from starboard here. We're going to head upwind or on a beam reach. Jakob?
Let's get everything fully operational.
During the roll-in, we'll check it once again now. Is our mast set to ratchet? If I want to furl the sail now, generally a little counter tension is always good. But this outhaul line, it runs forward here, is redirected, then upwards, then backwards, another 180 degrees. It has many deflections. Because of these numerous deflections, we essentially already have a great deal of friction and also good counter tension. This means we can now get ourselves prepared here to reel in our line. Well, since we've already set the mechanism to ratchet mode here at the very front, it's practically impossible for us to accidentally roll it up in the wrong direction at any point. So, as you can see, I'm simply pulling on either the reefing line or the furling line here with just one hand only, which makes the whole process really quite easy and very controlled. And here at the end, I also give a little counter pull, also here, so that the sail doesn't roll up too loosely. It's especially important that we make sure the battens roll in parallel when we have a furling mainsail with battens, so that nothing can get snagged. The sail should also not flog unnecessarily. Even then, it's possible for an extra fold to get caught. We furl the sail until only its UV protection is visible, meaning the triangle on the sail at the clew. Only that specific area remains exposed to the sun, and everything else is safely protected within the mast. I've managed this whole operation by rolling it in from the winch at the stern. However, if you have enough crew on board, someone can also go forward and use the mast winch for the same task. With Selden masts in particular, it's definitely possible to furl the sail directly at the front of the mast. A major benefit is when you roll it up at the front of the mast. We have no deflection points and we have no friction that gets in the way. It becomes significantly easier to roll it in, but it does require someone here at the stern to control the line, to ease it out, and someone at the bow to roll it in. With a smaller crew, we can certainly do it this way too. It's a bit more work, but it works. In addition to the roller masts, there are also roller booms. Especially with a furling boom, it is very important that the angle, or rather, the single most crucial factor for a furling boom is the angle between the boom and the mast. If it's not set correctly, the furling won't work. Either the sail rolls too far forward or too far back, gets too much tension on the loof rope at the front, or wraps beyond the roller. What that means is, for the process of rolling up the sail, it's absolutely necessary that the main sheet is completely released. If you have a boom bank, it needs a correct adjustment. So if the sail furls and rolls too far forward, that means that the boom is too low. On the other hand, if the sail rolls too far to the stern and we experience a great deal of tension on the mast luff, then the boom was positioned too high. It is highly recommended for any furling boom that clear markings should be placed, for example, on the downhaul, so that you can always bring it to the correct position, ensuring the sail furls perfectly. One more extra tip for furling the sail. If you have a lot of wind, you can also use the engine for support. For example, if we want to furl the Genoa, we bear away onto a broad reach or downwind course, give it gas, move forward, making headway through the water. This makes the wind on board, the apparent wind on board, much less because we are sailing with the wind. By doing this, we reduce the strain and naturally, we also lessen the sail's flapping. This applies equally to the furling mainsail or to any mainsail in general. We sail directly into the wind, engage reverse, and then we move backwards. Even then, we can again relieve the pressure from the sails. The entire process of retrieving the sail becomes significantly simpler.